Hello and welcome back to Malcav Preps. Just out having a walk in another one of the little locations I like in the local area. As I mentioned earlier, it's also frequented by people who don't really know how to treat locations, but you're going to get them everywhere. And I was out having a walk and thinking about places for guerrilla gardening for next year. Finding little locations I could just plant something edible and then just leave it and come back again and harvest. I found a couple of nice little locations where I think I can do that. And so it got me thinking to emergency seeds. And hopefully the traffic isn't too loud and the wind isn't too loud, otherwise I'm going to have to just do a voiceover video. It got me thinking about emergency seeds. Quite a lot of preppers you see on telly and YouTube, when kind of asked about long-term preps, they say, "Oh, I've got emergency seeds, it's fine." And from my experiences this year and last year, it stuns me that people can just think, I've got seeds, I'm going to be alright. From my experiences this year, I've probably planted a good 100 seeds easily, and a quarter of them are actually doing anything, and maybe another half of those are actually going to produce anything worth eating. So when people say, okay, I've got emergency seeds, and they think, when something happens, they can just throw it in the ground and they'll have food. No, it doesn't work like that. You need experience. And there's a website, I'll flash up if I can work out how to use my rendering software. I'll flash up the website and the text they've got there, and the epitome of what I'm thinking is the fact that you need to know how to grow it before you try and grow it for a survival situation. So some of them are all right. To this year, beans and peas, broad beans and peas, I can't stop them growing. They're massive. I didn't have to do anything with them, and they're brilliant. Last year I did tomatoes, and again, tomatoes really easy. This year my tomatoes they're just not coming up, or dying as soon as I try and put them in the ground. To know, as I say, this is only my second year of actually trying to grow anything, so by no means am I an expert, and there's many YouTube videos you can watch. But yeah, don't think that a packet of seeds is your long-term solution unless you know those seeds. If you've grown those seeds before, you know what to do and all the lessons to learn. I've got a list of 20 lessons I've learned from this year's growing, and maybe next year when I put those lessons into practice, I'll do a video on it, and just once I show that it's working, I'll kind of put those out there. But at the moment, there's nothing special in there. It's, keep an eye on them, water them, patience, things that anyone growing seeds will learn their first time they try and grow anything. But that's the point. You don't want to be, first time you learn about these things, to be the time you need them to grow. You need to know, I know everything about these seeds, I know how they grow, where they grow, I know they grow in the soil around me, I know how to prepare that soil, and then when you need to, when you've got no other food, or your tins are running out and it's coming up to springtime, right, I can stick these in the ground, these are going to be fine, and in a couple of months I'm going to have something to eat. And so it really beggars belief when you just see, oh yeah, this one doomsday prepper, oh I've got 150,000 seeds. It's like, you've not grown any, you've never tried to grow any of those seeds. You collected them and just assume that that's the solution. And yeah, fair enough, with that number of seeds, you chuck them all in the ground, you're going to get some food at some point, but you're going to get a lot of wastage. Whereas if you know what you're doing, every single seed becomes a plant, becomes food, becomes seed of the next plant. So yeah, I found some locations I'm going to look at trying to grow some stuff in next year. It's just waste ground that gets a good bit of sun. The type of plants I'm going to plant, I know the average person will walk past and go, it's just a green thing. And they won't, only the experienced gardener or the experienced person will go, hold on, that's X, Y and Z. Well, what's that doing here? That's not A, natural, and B, this isn't the location for it. And yeah, they might scratch their heads going, oh, I wonder what that's doing there. But again, they're not going to dig it up, or they're not going to harvest it, or they're not going to pluck it. So yeah, it's just a thought I had, and it's been kind of playing on my mind for a while. Every time you see someone say, oh yeah, I've got seeds, so as long as I can make it to the spring and then get through to the summer, I've got food. No, you haven't. Not unless you've grown those seeds before. Not unless you know what grows when and how to pick it. That's another interesting point. I had some rocket which grew very well, but because I didn't know how to pick it, I killed it. Same with coriander. Coriander grows into quite a large bush if you can grow it properly. But I just harvested it, thinking, okay, that'll grow back. No. Then I tried to transplant it into the ground from a pot. No. So, thinking, okay, I've got the answer is there. I've got seeds in the freezer or in a cool cupboard in the garage. When I need to, I stick them in the ground. Think again. As I say, probably 20%, maybe less than that. 15% of everything I planted will actually produce something edible. And if those are all the seeds you've got in the world, and that you're relying on them to feed you and others, that kind of wastage will, that'll kill morale. That'll kill, if people are looking at these plants thinking, that's my food, and they see it die, trying to keep people's mood up during that, it's an uphill struggle. So yeah, just a brief thought I thought I'd have, sitting in a little location I quite like. I keep coming back here in all kind of weather, see what it's like. So it's quite windy today, and got a lot of foliage there blocking out the wind. I don't know whether you can see them through the trees, you can just see a flash of car. So that's a motorway, not ideal. Also, if you were to come to this location, knowing what's moving up and down the motorways, it's not always a bad thing depending on the situation. So, say there's, something going on with the military, you can see the military vehicles moving, they can't see over here, not easily. And so, you can say, okay, there's hundreds coming into where I am, the city where I am. Let's stay here for another couple of days, or hold on, they're all leaving, they're all going down the motorway. Okay, maybe things are better. I can pop into town and pop home, and it should be better. So not bad to be this close to the motorway, but also not great. So yeah, a bit of wander back, but thank you for watching, and share with me your thoughts and your experiences and your lessons. I'm hoping anyone that watches this will have gone, oh yeah, I tried to grow Y and I ran into the problem X, and the solution Z. So, pop it in the comments, because you can teach me, and then I'll know, and then hopefully someone else will read it and they'll know as well. So, but I'll probably do a video actually next year with the lessons I've learnt. I'll put some video up of my allotment and what I've got in the back garden, just to kind of show you what you can do in a kind of small space. I've not got a lot of room, but I've got enough growing. It's all coming through now, and it will come through in phases. So we've got some beans I'm going to be picking soon, and beans I'm picking. Once I pick those beans, I'll be cutting the plant down and planting something in its place. And so, in one season, I can get multiple crops. So I'm going to go, because things are squeaking ominously in this wind. And thank you for watching. See you later.